Yes, I'm walking 50,000 miles. And why am I doing this? I'm doing it for compassion. People are not kind to themselves. They struggle living this beautiful thing called life. There are times I felt stuck in life and that my life was not good enough. Like, what do I want and how do I move forward? Most of us are so caught up in the noise around us. Comparisons, opinions, expectations, and distractions that we lose sight of what truly matters to us. I've realized that building a life you love starts with going within, getting to know yourself, knowing your values, your dreams, what makes your soul dance, and what keeps you grounded. The reality is, this is not easy, but it's so worth it. When you know who you are and what you stand for, no one can shake you or knock you off your path. In this video, I'll share 3 simple principles with you that can help you to create a life where you feel free, filled with purpose, joy, and self-acceptance. This is about you creating inner peace, which is mental and emotional calmness with no anxiety, stress, or worry. It's important for your well-being and plays a big role in how you navigate the complex side of life. It gives you a broader view that allows you to regroup, take a breath, and begin living your life again. The very first step to building a life you love is knowing yourself deeply. The thing is, most people go through life barely scratching the surface of who they are. But the truth is, if you don't take the time to figure out who you are, what you value, and what truly matters to you, you end up chasing someone else's version of happiness. It's the saddest thing in life. Trust me, I've been there. It's draining. As the famous philosopher Socrates said, know thyself. This simple statement is a reminder that all the answers you're seeking about your life, your happiness, and purpose are within you. We often look for validation outside of ourselves, when everything we need can be found within ourselves. Nothing compares to the satisfaction that comes from going within, becoming friends with yourself, and knowing your true self. Take the time to understand who you are and what you stand for and what you truly want out of life. What makes you feel alive? What drains you? What do you need to let go of? And what values do you refuse to compromise on? Ask yourself those deep questions, the questions sometimes that you avoid. You'll be less easily swayed by the opinions of others. You stop doubting your decisions and start trusting your intuition, which leads to more confidence and peace of mind. Now the big question is, how do you get to know yourself deeply? One of the simplest yet most powerful ways for you to do this is through journaling. Journaling saved my life. It's a game changer to mastering your inner game. The most important thing you just need to do is to just start slowly. Just grab a paper, grab a journal, or your phone notes, whatever it is. And sometimes you can write a question at the top, like, who am I, at the top of the page. Then set a timer for 10 minutes and start writing whatever comes to mind. The key here is don't overthink it. Just let the words flow. You may write about your passions, your fears, your values, or even things you've avoided thinking about. The goal here is just to be raw and honest with yourself, which is what people struggle with sometimes. And when the timer goes off, read off what you've written. Then you likely notice patterns, things that light you up, or things that keep showing up. Reflect on these and ask yourselves, are your daily choices aligned with these things? And what needs to change? Another thing that helped me is what I like to call intentional ghosting. No, you are not ignoring people. As Ram Dass said, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. Instead, what you're doing here is you're stepping away from all the noise to focus on yourself. Take a few hours, a day, a weekend, a year, however long you need to disconnect from the world and distractions and be with yourself. You'll be surprised how much clarity you can find when the world goes quiet. Challenge yourself to disconnect for a day or so. See what clarity comes your way. Once you truly know yourself, you start making choices that align with your values and your life. The second principle is setting your boundaries. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. They protect your space and your peace and remind us of our worth and they keep us aligned with the life we're building. One thing I've learned on my journey is that nothing can draw you out unless you allow it. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. But the moment you stop giving others and things the power to define how you feel and your emotions, you take a massive step towards freedom. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Sometimes the best reaction is no reaction. I used to think that silence was a weakness, but now I see it as a strength. When someone or something tries to provoke you, remember that you don't have to engage. Kill them with kindness. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to remain grounded. When you're kind, even in the face of negativity, you reinforce the truth that your spirit remains calm despite external chaos. Here's an exercise that changed the inner game for me. When something is happening, that I can feel it within me, like my blood is boiling. That's probably something that's trying to bring me out of myself. I just take a moment, I focus my energy to my feet, and I just breathe. You take deep, intentional breaths, telling yourself that you are at peace and you are grounded. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about letting the right people in. When you respect your limits, others will too. And for those who don't, they simply are not meant to walk on this journey with you. So I'll ask you, what boundaries will you set today to protect your space and your peace? And the last principle I swear my life on is having a clear vision for yourself and for your life. Trust me, without it, you're like a ship without a steering wheel, drifting wherever the waves take you. But once you define your life vision, it's like you found your map, your North Star guiding you even when things get tough. Most of us want the same basic things in life: happiness, health, good relationships, success, and the freedom to express ourselves. But one thing we forget to do is to personalize these desires, such as, what do I believe in? What do I want? Why do I want it? And what do I need to do to get it? There's no right or wrong answers to these questions, but knowing what you want anchors you and allows you to live a life that works for you, no one else. A clear vision helps you to stay focused. It gives you the strength to say no when distractions and negative influences try to pull you away from your goals. I remember a time in my life when I didn't have a clear vision. I was constantly reacting to what was happening around me. But once I took the time to sit down, dig deep, and think about what I wanted for my life, everything shifted. I found direction. I felt grounded. I connected with the right people. And I started making choices that aligned with that vision. Choices that brought me closer to the person I wanted to be and the life that I wanted to live. I'm not saying you have to have it all figured out right away. Don't put pressure on yourself. But the more you define what you truly want and keep asking yourself those questions, the more your life starts to align with it. So, how do you find out what you truly want in life? If you're unsure where to start, try this simple exercise. Take 10 minutes every day this week to visualize your ideal life. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine yourself living the life you truly want. Picture it in as much detail as possible. Your relationships, your work, your health. Write it all down. What would it look like? And what would it feel like? This daily practice helps you to clarify your vision and get closer to living a life that you're truly excited about. Remember, life will throw challenges your way, but when you're grounded in who you are, nothing can knock you off your path. It's not always going to be easy, but I promise you, it's worth it. So, let me know in the comments what one principle you want to live by. Join me on this journey. Walk with me, and let's master the inner game together.